touchdown.
It's time. It's time. It's Swain Event time.
My man.
It is time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. This is real sports talk for the real sports fan. Talk to him, Swain.
Get into his mouth and a Ric Flair.
SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. It is a rainy, wet Tuesday here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Please be careful in your travels. It's raining in Knoxville. That means it's probably raining in other places. So if you are outside of Knoxville, wherever you may be, please be careful. Have a great morning and rest of your day. We are glad to be a part of your day. We are glad to be at the start of your day. Ben McKee, Go Vols, 2, 4, 7. I'm live here in the Low T Center studio. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay, man. I'm okay. I'm just ready for the football season, my man. Just ready for some football. Just
based off of how you were acting on Josh and Swain yesterday, and I think you need a little pep in your step. I got me a good screenshot. DR Vol and Volstorm would approve.
Well, that's because I had to talk about Chris Brazel yesterday.
Chris Brazel or the receivers?
Chris Brazel is the one who had me shaking my head, had me really, really flabbergasted and not understanding the thought process there, how he got himself in that position. But that was the reason, man. I had really no intention on talking about Chris Brazel today. I'm trying to move on because I don't really have anything good to say or nice to say about that situation because it's just silly. But I thought I was well past that, my man Ben McKee. I thought I was good, and hey, let's talk about football. Then I started getting text messages about a player's mom tweeting and posting and messaging and letting the world know that she does not give it's clearly stated, I don't give a blank.
So
that was what I woke up to this morning. But I ain't gonna start there. Ben, I'm gonna start with giving folks. Are you there yet? Are you at practice yet?
I'm almost on campus.
Almost. I'm not gonna start there. Our Swain Event listeners, I feel like they deserve the best, man. If you listen, you deserve the best. You deserve heads up about what's about to happen, what's going to happen, inside, a little insight on things that have happened, the perspective that maybe others don't get. So, I'm going to do that right now. Here in hours, not a couple of hours, but hours, meaning at some point this week, we should get a idea of what apparel company Tennessee is rolling with. It's going to be Adidas. It's over for Nike. And before everyone gets emotional and sends out a message or tweets or whatever. I'm just warning everyone out of courtesy to hold those tweets, because there's going to be information that I'm sure that comes out after that that's going to clearly explain the reason. And anyone with a half of a brain will understand when that information comes out. So don't be that person that tweets something today and have to delete it tomorrow. Not saying the information is coming out today, but just saying, don't be that person, because here is your warning. Like, here is me letting you know. Just hold off. So that's good. In my opinion, that's good news. For some folks, that's bad news. I think it's awesome news. I think it's great news. As I'm sitting here wearing my Nike shorts. The scrimmage on Saturday, we'll get to that. Tennessee hits the practice field today, which more than likely is going to be inside. So that'd be fun. And I'm being excited about that, not having to be outside.
It better be inside. Knoxville is an absolute mess this morning because of this heavy downpour.
Yeah.
Y'all be safe. For our Knoxville folks, if you're listening, y'all be safe moving around town. It's crazy out here.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get to the phones. 865-250-503, Cigars of Law hotline. 865-250-503. Good morning.
Good morning, Mississippi Vol.
Who's that?
Mississippi Vol.
Mississippi Vol, my man. What's up, man?
Yeah, I love the Adidas idea. I think it's going to help us big time in the future as far as recruits. Just, we need it more than what Nike was giving us. You know, we need that extra money to help recruit. And I've been looking at Adidas apparel lately. It's not that bad. I'm just hope to see what the uniforms look like when they announce it.
Mm-hmm.
What it would look like. But I think it's going to help us big time in the near future. That's about all I got on it, and I'll hang up and listen.
Okay, thank you, Mississippi Vol. Good to hear from you. It's going to help Tennessee in the near future. I don't disagree with you, my man. Let's keep it going. 865-250-503. Good morning. Got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right, Ben? Give us a call back if you still want to jump on with us. 865-250-503. Another way you can communicate with us, be a part of the show, is the text box, the Beta Chevrolet text box. There on your Swain Event app, you can throw in comments, you can throw in questions. All right, let me get to this scrimmage, man, because that's the most important thing. The running game was good. Tennessee was able to run the ball 7 yards, 8 yards. I thought all three running backs was very, very good, which tells you that this offensive line has a chance to be really good. This running game can be good, allowing the quarterbacks, the young quarterbacks, whether they're young in age or young in this system, they're still young. Merklinger and Aguilar split the first team reps. Aguilar, from what I saw, looked better, but it was closer than it needed to be, that it should be, and George McIntyre is coming. Physically, he's the best-looking quarterback to me, but he is super small, super skinny, and I don't know why – not why. I don't know if he's going to play this season. but he's coming. I don't know if he can take a hit. He came in kind of like, Nico, super slender. So physically, I don't know like how ready he is to play in terms of being able to take a hit, get up, and not get hurt. But physically, he's ready to play in terms of his ability to push the ball down the field and make accurate throws. I think Merklinger's in a weird spot. But if the season started today, I think Aguilar will be your guy, based on what I saw at practice. The receiver's really non-existent because everybody's hurt, and it's a whole other conversation for maybe another day, or maybe today. I don't know, but they're hurt, and this is the second preseason, where you got guys hurt that you want to play, be starters, and you don't have a way to have them healthy so you can build a chemistry. It's not been one practice where your projected 3 receivers have practiced together. Not one. Now, with Staley out and Brazel back, which, if I got arrested, I would bring my butt back to practice too. So that's another issue separate from the scrimmage. So the DBs really didn't get challenged deep. You good, Ben? You safe? You marked safe?
I'm hiding I'm in good old G10. G10's protecting me.
All right, good, man. So let's get you in here so people can see your beautiful, handsome mug.
Can I add 2 things on the offense?
Oh, please, man.
From what you've said so far, you mentioned the 3 running backs looked good. If I'm not mistaken, Peyton Lewis wasn't a full participant. It sounds like it was Star Thomas, and Deshaun Bishop was the head of the snake on Saturday. We've heard a lot of good things about Star Thomas and how he performed, which is a great thing to hear. Sounds like he's going to be more of a weapon in the running game than Tennessee initially anticipated when it received his commitment from Duke out of the portal. You heard Josh Heupel praise him quite a bit, how he has drastically changed his body from the spring and how he's become more explosive. And it sounds like that was on full display in that scrimmage. But I just wanted to say that you mentioned the 3. It sounds like DeJuan Morris was that 3rd one, not necessarily Peyton Lewis, because Peyton Lewis was banged up a little bit. But continue to hear good things about all 4 running backs in that running game. So wanted to throw that in there. And like you said, the offensive line had a really good day. I heard really good things about the tackles, how Lance Hurd looked, how David Sanders Jr. looked, Wendell Moy at left guard. And that's against a Tennessee defensive line that is supposed to be really good this season. So that is very, very promising. And then the other thing I was going to add was about George McIntyre and his weight. Seems like they've had a difficult time keeping weight on, and they kind of had to figure out why he was struggling to keep weight on. Maybe some things. George was not doing anything wrong. It was just the way. You can't help how his body handles certain foods and stuff. So they kind of had to figure out what were the best foods for him to be chowing down on, and it sounds like they figured out why he was not able to keep weight on. And have a plan to go ahead and I think Tennessee's ramping up, getting George ready, not for the opener, not to be the starting quarterback in the month of September, but there's a world in which George McIntyre gets a true opportunity this season, and I think George McIntyre and those around him have been made aware, like, hey, let's have some urgency of getting some weight on, making sure you're ready in case this opportunity does come down the road. So I totally agree with what you said about Joey. I mean, he's going to be the starting quarterback. I'd be stunned if not. It just does not sound like Jake Merklinger had a good day. But George McIntyre's coming quick, fast, and in a hurry, as you mentioned. And I think with the way the first 2 weeks have gone, I think Tennessee's picked up the urgency and how they are preparing George as well, both physically and both mentally as well.
Yeah, like Mark Linger should have looked way better in the first fall scrimmage than he did, considering Aguilar just got here at Bay. And the offense, the offense just moved better with Joey. Now, they picked up their first down because of offsides on defensive line. I know Rodney Garner was not happy about that, but Joey was able to move the football better than Mark Linger. Mark Linger, it took a while for him to complete his first ball. And
was that Merklinger or was that the receivers? Or both, really? Because I think with Tennessee's current situation at receiver, Patrick Mahomes might have problems trying to complete passes as well.
Aguilar, Merklinger split first team reps.
Right.
So it wasn't like Merklinger was throwing with the threes. Now, with a depth chart that doesn't scream, or a group that doesn't scream depth, then in a realistic world, maybe it is the threes. But no, I mean they were throwing to the same receivers. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
And so that's kind of what stood out to me. Defense probably not going to be happy about today, which I was surprised because usually defense wins the first scrimmage. But that's good news for the offense. But that's probably the main things that I took away. When you're watching scrimmage, it's hard to see everything all at once. This is why when you see coaches watching film, they're usually rewinding and watching it a play 30, 40 times. Because it takes that many times to watch everybody do their job. So just because you watch scrimmage, one play, you don't see all 11 dudes doing the right or wrong things. So you get flashes. Flashes of good, flashes of bad, and then you try to do your best job possible. And, trying to remember who did what. And so.
Well, I know Saturday was tough, too, because it was family weekend or whatever they call it. And I'm sure you saw plenty of people, not just in terms of family members, but of the players, because I don't know that you would know a lot of those folks, but I'm sure there were a lot of teammates in attendance and people who work within the program.
No.
There weren't people stopping you left and right?
I mean, I said what's up, but I went to my seat and I sat alone and I watched the practice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's you're in heaven right there.
Yeah.
Sitting alone watching football.
Yeah, I sat alone, watched practice. I didn't stand on the field and chop it up with folks. I just went in the stands and kind of sat down and just really, really, took it all in and watched practice. So, a lot of people in the country are saying the same things. Good thing we're not playing this weekend.
Yes.
There's
not a team in the country. I know Tennessee fans are, especially the optimistic Tennessee fans, are tired of hearing the media and folks with a platform talk about the receivers and quarterbacks and struggles within the passing game. But there's not a team in the country that doesn't have a position that is being talked about like we are talking about Tennessee's receivers or passing game, however you want to word it. Every team in the country has something that they are very worried about.
Yeah. I agree. All right, let's try to get back to the phone. 865-255-03. Good morning.
Swain, good morning, buddy. How you doing?
What's up, Jay? Good, man.
Hey, man. Good to hear. Good to hear, Swain. So I've been hearing some, like what y'all were just talking about this this passing game, but it sounds like maybe you aren't. This isn't really changing the outlook on what you think we're going to have this season, or has it? As far as maybe the struggles we're having.
I mean, I have this team winning 8 to 9 games. The passing game at this point of the season is a step behind at this point last season.
Well, that's not good.
I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
But the
I
thing
mean,
But the thing about last season, though, Jay, they never got better.
No.
Like it was like marginally better. Like he wasn't like head over heels better. Remember 2022 when Tennessee played Pittsburgh and offense just was struggling, and then boom, they got better, and then they got really, really, really good, and was hitting on all cylinders. Like you can improve during a season, and that happens. Like the first game is always a good measuring point for you to watch the film, make adjustment, and improve from there. It felt like Tennessee was taking baby steps in improving. So just because I'm saying that Tennessee right now in the passing game is behind where they were last year at this point doesn't mean they can't be better than last year.
What, Swain, I mean, Heupel has this reputation of this offensive guy, and I know he's a smart coach. I mean, and all of these big offenses he's had, and you just talked about what the passing game was last year, and we'll see what happens this year. What is this a personnel thing? If we struggle, I guess if we do struggle again with passing explosive plays, is this a personnel thing, or is this something that Heupel needs to change? Because that would be 2 years in a row at that point, and then you'd have to be asking, are we recruiting the right players or what?
Yes to both.
Yeah.
I mean, Heupel's a head coach, so anything that happens inside of his program is on him.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said that. How many different coaches have we had since I've been doing this show? Goodness gracious! I think I started doing radio when, like Kiffin, I think at the end of Kiffin or the beginning of Dooley.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, for 15 years, I've been saying the same thing. I mean, it's the head coach is responsible for the personnel. You got to know what you want, and if you don't, and you get the wrong player, you can't blame it on the assistant coach. You're the head coach. That's why you're getting paid the big bucks. That's why you have the title. So, it's on Heupel.
Well, Swain, what do you think about this Tristan Keys kid? I mean, do you think I've kind of just seen some snippets. I don't really get to follow it as much as I used to, but is this a guy that y'all feel like, you and Ben feel like we actually have a real chance at flipping, or is this going to be a hard shot?
No, we got a good chance.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a good chance. I mean, he has a good relationship with Faison Brandon. Kelsey Pope, receiver coach, has been on fire recruiting. He's always loved Tennessee. I think there were some questions about, the offense after last season that maybe he's gotten answered, and then that commitment to LSU, that was kind of a spur of the moment deal.
Yeah.
And surprised a lot of people. I do think, there was some feeling, some love towards LSU growing up. You think about where he's located there in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And LSU is the closest, best football program.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but I think what he's realized is Knoxville is a better fit for him with the staff than LSU. And, it's about us kind of waiting us in, and if he's going to pick Tennessee, if he's going to pick Texas A&M, but I like where Tennessee is right now.
Well, Swain, let me ask y'all this before I get off here, because I've heard about the kid, this running back, 5-star running back. I know he's committing soon.
Yeah, in a week, right?
Yeah, where do we stand on him as far as, I heard it's maybe us in Michigan. Does it sound like it's more Michigan or us? What have you heard? And I'll hang up, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate the phone call. Ben, you want that one? I mean, I'll take it, but I'll let you get that one.
Savion Hyder is who Jay is talking about, and it is Tennessee, Michigan. He's announcing August 19th, which is a week from today. Today's Tuesday, right? So he'll announce next Tuesday, and it seems to be very much 50-50, or at least has been up until this point. And that there, of course, is chatter out there, but people who cover recruiting on a daily basis wonder just how legitimate the chatter is one way or the other, because Savion and his family do not talk. They don't want any information out. Savion has taken to social media multiple occasions and quote tweeted stories about them saying, this, that, or the other, questioning whether, it's very clear that Savion doesn't want any information out there. That this is one of your old school recruitments, and it is down to Tennessee and Michigan, and it seems like it's going to be one that neither coaching staff is going to be made aware of the decision before he announces. So it's been viewed as neck and neck, and we'll kind of see which one he leans on. The people here in Knoxville believe that Tennessee is in it far more than people outside of Knoxville. So the national media are kind of looking at Michigan and pegging Michigan as the clear front runner, but people in and around Tennessee believe that Tennessee has a much greater chance than people on the outside are giving them. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah. I would agree. Yeah, I would agree.
Tristan Keys is certainly the far more likely scenario, but they do have a real shot with Savion Hyder.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you,
man. What? Why are you being coy?
I was looking at this John Mateer stuff.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Tennessee about to get a layup, huh?
I think if you're a Tennessee fan, you what game does Tennessee play Oklahoma? Later in the year, right?
I mean, I think. Let me see.
If you're Tennessee, you want like a 7-8 game suspension?
He gonna get more than that. If this is true, that's being said about him. You play OU in November, 7 game suspension. He might be donezo if this stuff is true. And what I mean is that there is screenshot of him paying allegedly someone for sports gambling when he was a freshman at Washington State.
If I'm not mistaken, though, he was gambling with his buddies on NCAA video games.
I hope that's the case.
And I have not done my I have not studied up on this, but I saw somebody it was somebody on social media, so I don't know if it was true or not because it was on social media. I know some folks think that Twitter is real life. It's not. But somebody said that he was already suspended for that at one point. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope it's just him and his buddies gambling on video games on NCAA football. That apparently that's what I saw it was. I don't know whether that's true or not, but yeah, I guess we'll see. It's certainly fascinating.
It's a Venmo account. Fans found it, and it says John Mateer paid such and such sports gambling, UCLA versus USC, and then another payment says sports gambling. Why would you?
Don't be dumb while being dumb.
I don't get it, man. I don't get the combination. Like being dumb while being dumb and doing stuff dumb. Like it's the combination that kills me. You don't miss a court date. You got a support staff. Now I'm talking about Chris Browser. You got a support staff that's there to support you, to help you in whatever you need. You have a court date around fall camp. Tell somebody so that way you can go.
And here's the other thing. You're not practicing anyways. So what are you going to be missing?
And I'm sure you got some letters in the mail. But if you
Emails, text messages.
But if you didn't, let's just say you just didn't know. You don't think driving 16 and 35 is a little excessive? That's like driving 50 in a school zone. Like, you don't think that's a little excessive here?
Oh, it's especially excessive on Henley Street Bridge.
That's the
especially
worst
depending
place.
on the time of day.
That's the worst place to speed.
Yes.
That is the absolute worst place to speed.
Also, like, if I had a court date, like, say, like nowadays, if you have a doctor's appointment, and if the court dates are like a doctor's appointment, which I don't know. I've never had a court date, but I know for doctor's appointments, I get text messages, I get emails, I get automated phone calls reminding me of when it is. Let's say that none of that is happening, and he didn't get letters in the mail, no reminders, which I have a hard time believing. If I had a court date, it would be the only thing on my mind. How could you forget that you have a court date? Even like in the grand scheme of things, this is not. It's just him being dumb. Like this doesn't make him a bad person. He shouldn't be kicked off the team. I don't even know that he should be suspended for a game. I mean, this is something that you punish him.
No. It's not worth to be suspended.
Like in the grand, it's not nothing, but it's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. Like being dumb, learn from it, move on. But I mean, how? I don't understand how you could not remember that you have a court date. Like, I just don't believe that. I don't believe that somebody can forget that they have a court date. I don't see how that's possible.
Well, I mean, if you have a court date, you don't put it in your calendar. You don't think about it. And
how do you not think about a court date, though?
Dude, I know. I get it. I get it. So
I don't get it.
No, I'm saying I get your point.
I know.
Yeah, I get your point. It's hard to. That's why it's just hard to get out, man. Because it's like you gotta be kidding me. All right. So scrimmage.
Hey, you want to talk about a positive receiver update?
Bring it.
Deshaun Brain.
Are you a receiver now?
No, he's not a receiver, but he's a receiving tight end who I think is going to have a. Well, I don't know what my expectations are for him this year because he'll be behind Ethan Davis and Miles Kitselman, but I think he's going to be the number 3 tight end. He caught the touchdown from George McIntyre in the scrimmage over the weekend. He continues to receive a lot of praise from people within the program. Yesterday during Routes on Air, he was Tennessee's tight end coaches, Alec Ablin and his assistants, were really praising him for the details that he was doing within his routes. And he looks like $1 million. He really does. Tennessee's got a big time player in Deshaun Brain. So I know he's not technically a receiver, but I think he's absolutely going to help in the passing game. I don't know how much as a true freshman, but I think he's long term going to be a big time player for Tennessee.
Are you allowed to talk about the tight ends right now?
Well, yeah, I am.
Have you taken yourself off probation?
Dominic Wood Anderson was a solid NFL tight or a solid college tight end.
Oh, okay.
He did not end up being an NFL tight end, but that's because his head wasn't screwed on straight. He wasn't focused like he should be. He let me down. I was correct in my thinking. He let me down. Okay, we're not gonna pin this on Ben. You understand?
I understand.
I'm kidding.
I was just wondering, my man.
Look, we all have bad takes. That was a bad one for me.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. All right, let's hit this Beatty Chevrolet text box. Oh, boy. Chip Payne. Chris Brazzell isn't serious about his football career. It just seems he wants to check but doesn't want to put in the work. Just acting foolish. He's good to look. He's going to look back and maybe regret the decision he made while at Tennessee. That's what Chip said. Chip also says, Boo's mama need to understand we have one mouth and 2 ears for a reason. So Chip got some things on his mind this morning. Vol in Charlotte says this quarterback situation is interesting. If G-Mac is the best, why don't you have to play him? No, you don't have to play him. Nico didn't play as a true freshman because physically, he wasn't ready to play physically.
Yeah, George is the most talented quarterback in the room. He's not currently the best option in the room because of the lack of experience and needing to add to his frame, needing to add weight. Now, is George going to be the best option by the time the bye week rolls around as we transition from September to October? Or is George going to be the best option coming out of the trip to Tuscaloosa as Tennessee gets ready for Kentucky and the November stretch? Maybe. He might be. That'll depend on how Joey Aguilar performs and how quickly Joey grasps the system and becomes comfortable and becomes to play really well in it. And you talk about the receivers improving as the season goes along. I mean, I think that's what we'll see from Joey Aguilar. I'm not expecting him to light the world on fire against Syracuse just because of the magnitude of the fallout from the Nico situation and him getting here so late. But, like, do I expect him to play much better against Mississippi State than Syracuse? Yeah, because he's going to have a whole another month under his belt. Quick thought before you get back to the text box. Question for you. I would like to hear that they give George in the second scrimmage this Friday, which will be also their final scrimmage at the fall. Because George has been going up against the third-team defense, from my understanding. I'd like to hear him get an opportunity for a drive or two against the first-team or second-team defense. Just see where he's at. Wouldn't you like to see and hear about that?
Well, the reason will be you have to determine if you're going to put George as the number 2.
Well, I don't think I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Maybe you can put me in my place, but I think we are certainly trending towards more of a competition for the number 2 job than the number 1 job.
I mean, I won't say it's crazy. I do think you need to. I think Joey needs more first team reps. If you feel like he's the leader, then it's probably time for him to start getting more first team reps, considering that he just got here in May. And then from there, you need to determine who's going to be a second guy. Maybe you split second team reps between, George and Jake. But I think the first team reps need to be with Aguilar. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it does, and I totally agree. I would just like to hear that. Okay, they gave George a drive against the first team defense.
Yeah,
with the first team offense or the. I mean, are you wanting Joey to take like all of the first team reps?
Most of them, more than he took Saturday.
Right. No, I hear you. I guess what I'm thinking is like, is it typical like when you have when there's not a quarterback competition, when you know who the starting quarterback is going to be in fall camp, does that quarterback always take all of the first team reps in a scrimmage?
Yes.
Like, do they get a drive off is I guess what I'm asking.
No.
Okay. Well then.
No. First team goes with the first team.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if there were, just trying to arrest or avoid injury or that type of thing because it's camp and I know it's scrimmage and it's very important, but it's also not a real game. So I didn't know if like there was a possession here or there that they
Yeah,
maybe would switch things up.
yeah. The best way to avoid injury is not practice. That's the best way. But if you're out there, then you need to be going with the unit that's going to help the team improve. And so I think for Aguilar, I think more first team reps would be ideal because
I agree. I just would like to hear that George gets and not more of an opportunity to win the job. That's not my point. More just to okay, he's been very consistent, continues to throw a nice ball, continues to receive a lot of praise while going up against the third team defense. What does it look like against the second team defense? That's
yeah.
all.
ATL VFL. Any plans for the Adidas money already? Now ATL VFL. You think we sit in the meetings with Danny White? It's gonna be used for recruiting. I mean, that's what it's gonna be used for and other stuff. But don't know the exact plans. Negativity clouds preseason. Don't want to be a sunshine pumper, but tired of hearing about Brassel, Nico, Boo Carter. A lot more people. A lot of people doing right thing more deserving. I understand that, but you have a starting receiver that's arrested. It's Tuesday. What you expect, Camden, Tennessee ball? What do you expect? You expect that not to be front page? You have a player, mom, who will not put the phone down, that is saying, she is saying that she never been a Tennessee fan. She wants her son at Colorado. She's saying this publicly after the young man didn't do what he's supposed to do and been given an opportunity to be back on the football team in a normal capacity. Mom is saying she wants her kid in Colorado. Bruh, Deion got 8 players drafted in 2025. WTF, legendary. Wasn't 8 players. But she clearly wants Boo at Colorado. They finna hate me all year because I don't give a blank. But if it was Boo, it would be all on social media. I guess that was talking about Chris Browser getting arrested. It was on social media.
Yeah, trust me, Chris Brazzell was not a fan of it.
It was everywhere. When you get in trouble at the University of Tennessee, it's everywhere. It was everywhere. So that's not true either. So when you have these things going on, what do you expect to be discussed? What are you expecting?
I mean, we're tired of talking about it.
We spend more time talking about the scrimmage.
Yeah.
But if you think that news like that is going to drop, and we're just not going to bring it up, then come on, man, that's just not realistic. Because and you listen to the show long enough, like I prefer to talk about the positive stuff. I prefer, to avoid the negative stuff. Hell, I made a segment called Attaboy just to talk positive here on this show and brought it to the other show just to be able to focus on the positive. But you can't all the time when you have stupid stuff going on. And that's what we have going on. So, continue with the text box.
I feel bad for Boo that Mama is piling on and making it harder for him while he's appears like he's at least trying to do what he needs to do to play football this year.
It's not a good situation. And listen, I think Dion is more strict than Josh Heupel. So thinking that you're going to just run to Colorado was the answer, I don't know about that.
Yeah, when you read off her comment about the NFL draft picks, my very first thought was, yeah, Boo's not going to make it in the NFL at the moment with how he's going and how people like yourself in his camp are enabling him and his thoughts.
Vol Freak 87, not trying to bash any coaches, but do you think the injuries to the receiver group could be from technique issues or how they prepared physically during the offseason? They run a lot. And this is the second year in a row for hamstring issues with your receivers. So that is something.
But how come it's like they're the only position?
They run more than anybody else.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, I've got to run to practice, so enjoy the rest of your show, my friend.
There it is. I mean, they run more than everybody else. So, I mean, appreciate it, Ben. That's another topic for another day. To be honest, is it a problem if Pendleton is a starting center? Position is really not his strength. It's not a problem. He can do it. He can do it. Early returns on O-line being the strength this year would really take the pressure off the quarterback and the defense. 100%. 100%. Being able to run the football, being able to control the line of scrimmage, not only takes pressure off the quarterback and the defense, it gives the offense time. It gives the passing game time to gel. Because you don't hit your stride first game of the season in the passing game. There's adjustments that have to be made. And so being able to run the football, being able to take, maybe a simple screen pass to a receiver and him take it to the house, that buys you time to work on all the down the field timing stuff that you have to be able to do when you get to conference play or you're playing in a big non-conference game to be able to win against a team that has as much talent, if not more, than you. Also hard 615 says it all boils down to we put all of our eggs in the Nico basket, tied up a lot of resources and preventing us from building competition at quarterback. Point. Charger Vol says the optimistic fans may want to face the facts. This could be a long season with the projected starters at receiver being limited for the second year in a row. Unproven offensive line, unproven quarterback could very well be a long season. I hope and pray that I'm wrong, but that's what my gut is telling me. I think the offensive line is unproven as a unit, but there's a lot of proven dudes on it outside of David Sanders Jr. Like Sam Pendleton is proven. Moy is proven. We saw what Lance Hurd did at the back half of the season. But as a group, I understand what you're saying, Charger Fall. I get it. Quarterback is improving at Tennessee at this level. You can say the same thing maybe for Moy. Or if you want to say about Pendleton, you can. I won't because he did it at Notre Dame. But unproven quarterback is fair. But that's why I'm saying 8 to 9 wins. Like, it's Tuesday. Chris Browser got arrested over the weekend. Ruben Whitehorn got arrested over the weekend. It's going to be talked about. I mean, it's Tuesday. And folks talked about it yesterday. The first day of the week. Outside Sunday, but like Nelson from Jackson says Keys definitely has a clear path to playing time here. Facts. I'm not hearing much about Darius Gray. Came to Tennessee Vol. Chip Payne is not about it today. Clay says not to fully defend Brazel, but I got a ticket in college for something silly. Thought I took care of it, forgot about it. Resulted in my license being suspended for 3 years. No letters, no reminders. Found out when I went to get a new license. Listen, I'm not here to say he needs to be kicked off or come down on him hard. I said this on Joshua Swain yesterday. When I was a freshman, I was driving to or from Alabama, and I got a ticket right outside Scottsboro in like Hollywood, Alabama, and totally didn't know how to handle it, what the dudes didn't handle it the right way, whatever. It wasn't handled the right way. And I still had an Alabama license. And so all the information went home to Huntsville. And my license got suspended for like a little bit, but I didn't drive when it got suspended. And then it was handled, was taken care of, and then boom, I was good to go. And so those are young lessons you learn. I was young and stupid and made that mistake. But what I didn't do is drive 60 and 35. You have a fast car. And sometimes it's hard to go the speed limit because it doesn't feel like you're going 60, but you are. You're going 60 and 35. I mean, it was stupid to miss your court date. It was stupid to be driving 60 and 35. That's why we say don't be stupid while being stupid. That's all. Neil Kyle says if he pays the fine, then he doesn't have to worry about court. Yeah, I mean, it's just part of growing up. That's all. It's part of life. It's part of growing up. I ain't gonna sit here and say he should be suspended for a game, nothing like that. But I did find it ironic that he was at practice on Monday. I did find that ironic. And my thing with Brazel is the last two receivers that were drafted from Tennessee had a terrible year before they was drafted. Jalen Hyatt dropped more passes than anybody, it seemed like. Dante Thornton right there with him. But that next offseason, they got to work. They got to work. And had a breakout year. Dante Thornton is starting for the Las Vegas Raiders. Did anyone ever think that Dante Thornton would be starting in the preseason of the 2025 season when he was dropping balls his first year when he was playing slot? Did anyone think that? No. But my man got to work. Jalen Hyatt got to work. And I know Brazel's been a little banged up. I get it. But mentally, are you prepared for your breakout season? And the latest news cycle would suggest no. Little brothers, man. That's how I look at all players on the team. Little brothers, nephews, whatever. This extends to the parents. Do y'all know y'all getting paid? A lot of money? Some of y'all got raises. Some of y'all have gotten $250,000 raises. $500,000 raises. And y'all acting like this stuff is supposed to be promised. This is a privilege. Don't y'all know that y'all's son or daughter can get hurt at any minute? And their value is no longer there? Take it from someone that would have been one of the highest paid players on the team coming in from high school. That plays a true freshman. That started as a freshman in some games. Started as a sophomore in some games. I would have been paid. In one split moment, I got hurt. Something small. And changed everything. You can go through that too. So, man, be humble. Be grateful. Seize the opportunity in the moment. Don't take this stuff for granted because it can be taken away. This is a small window. But these 4 or 5 years, it's a blip. It's a blip compared to the rest of your life. You're going to spend your life, most of your time will be not playing football than playing football, or not playing sports than playing sports. 41 years old. Last game was in 2007. Just have some vision. Just think about tomorrow. Please. You want your future self to thank your past self with the decisions you make today. And some of the folks who are here popping off at the mouth and doing stuff, well, you're gonna really hate yourself in 10 years when you realize all the money that was on the table. Neil and Mafia. And these money will be used to bribe, to shut parents up. Man, that money, man, that money can give people a false sense of reality sometimes. I'm a parent. I'm not a parent of an athlete that has the opportunity to make high 6 figures and play football at a place like Tennessee. But I put myself in the shoes of a parent who is, and I couldn't imagine. Allow myself to be a distraction. That makes it tougher for my child. I couldn't imagine doing that. You want to make it easier, not tougher on them. Easier. Easier. Which game do you think is going to be more hype between the Arkansas game or the Oklahoma game? I personally feel like the Arkansas game is a revenge game. Well, I think it depends on where Oklahoma is. I mean, we played them November the 1st. If they are a team that's coming in here and they're really, really good, and Tennessee is, sitting at 2 or less losses, then, oh, yeah, man, that game's going to be on fire. Arkansas, we play them October the 11th, and that would be coming off of a bye. And the game before that is against Mississippi State. I think it also depends on what time that game is going to be too. But yeah, like this is Neyland Stadium, man. They're both going to be on fire. But I do think it depends on how good the team is coming in, what time the game is going to be. Memphis Vol says, how do you feel about Dante starting for the Raiders? Yeah, he was splitting snaps with Brazel last year. Was it an injury or strictly playing favorites? I mean, Thornton was banged up last year. Yeah, he was banged up. But that statement right there is wild when you think about it. That starting Raiders receiver was splitting time last year. It just doesn't make sense. But he was banged up. Swain, did you see interview that with Hyatt saying he wanted to transfer his sophomore year? That was pretty recent. No, I didn't see it. I don't need to see it. I know it was a terrible year. I know it was a terrible year for Hyatt. And the answer wasn't the location. The answer was in the mirror for Hyatt. And guess what Hyatt did? He got to work. He worked on himself. And I'm happy for Hyatt. I'm proud of what he's been able to do. But I don't really know if I can sit here and say that Hyatt would have been able to have the success he had in college outside of, I don't want to say outside Tennessee, but just at any place. I mean, a lot of credit goes to Heupel for putting him in position to be successful like he did. I mean, Hyatt struggled to get on the field in the league. Struggled. It's not been pretty there with the Giants. And so it makes you think about the job that Heupel and company did with him, putting him in position to win the Biletnikoff, to be drafted. But you give credit to Heupel. I mean, you give credit to Hyatt because he put that work in after his sophomore season. But Hyatt's not winning the Biletnikoff anywhere else that year. Wish my boys are good enough. They love that place. Talking about Tennessee. Dustin Vol, if Boo's mama wants her son out of the news cycle, maybe she should not hit send on the phone. Saying that, but if it was Boo, it would be all over social media. And it seems like that's about Chris Brazel being arrested. I would say, man, Chris Brazel didn't disappear from the team. Chris Brazel is not being punished the way Boo Carter is being punished. Your son is being punished, being disciplined for all the things since his freshman year. This is accumulation of a lot of little things, which is why the leadership council and the coaches took a stand, put their foot down. Chris Brazel's been arrested once for driving on a suspended license and speeding. And I've said this many times. You can be arrested and be in a better standing than missing workouts and not showing up. Quitting on your team is worse than being arrested for a suspended license. And so I just don't think it's a good idea to be worrying about, another parent's child when you have a child that you should be helping to get back in a good place so he can be the best that he can be for Tennessee, as long as he's wearing Tennessee uniform. Obviously, you don't want him to be at Tennessee. You want him in Colorado. But for now, he's at Tennessee. So why not just suck it up and then transfer after the season and go be happy wherever you want to go. But this is just not the right way to handle it. This is super messy. And all you're doing is auditioning for the next job. All you're doing is telling Dion, this is how y'all get down. This is messy. This is not good. Like, this is self-sabotaging behavior right here. This is not smart. And Omar Cooper, where are you, bro? You're supposed to be the agent here, man. You're supposed to be advising. You need to be advising. This is not the way to go. If you don't want to be here, but you have to be here because not playing this year would not be good. I get that. But you're disrespecting Tennessee. The program that's paying y'all a lot of money. And no one wants to be disrespected. But this is disrespectful to Tennessee. In some circles, in most circles, in most scenarios, Blue Carter's already dismissed, y'all. In a lot of programs, he's already dismissed. He's dismissed at Alabama. He's dismissed at Georgia. He's dismissed at a lot of places for what happened. He's been given an unbelievable opportunity to stay on this team and bounce back. It doesn't make sense to be this public with some of these comments. It is disrespectful to Tennessee. I mean, if you're in a relationship, why be in a relationship if you don't want to be in it? And why publicly talk about that other person if you're not willing to leave? It'd be one thing if you weren't on the team and you had all these comments to make. But he's on the team. So now his teammates looking at him sideways. Even more. It's just not a smart strategy. That's all I'm saying. It's just not a smart strategy. And I'm thinking about it from just, a business standpoint. Taking my orange colored sunglasses off. It's just not smart. Like, hey man, make you some money. You did that with the great season that Blue Carter had on the field. Leverage yourself, get a raise, play offense, get more money. All you're doing is hurting his value. Let's say Blue Carter straightens up and is on the team and in full capacity, he plays, he's making plays, he's a starter, whatever. And then it's time to get back to the drawing board as far as negotiations in December. I'm not paying Blue Carter a single dollar more than what he's being paid now. Ain't no way. And I don't know where Boo's going to transfer to where he's going to make more what Tennessee is paying him this year. Because I know the number. I don't see another team paying Book Carter the same. I don't see it. So just chill. Collect your money. Go play. Don't cause any problems. And if you want to leave, go leave and try to get more money. But doing this, you're just hurting your value. And agent, can you please step in and educate and help these folks understand that? That's all I'm saying. $865-255-03. I'm going to take a quick break. And then we'll come back. We'll get back to the text box. We will continue to answer questions and comments on the text box. Questions about the scrimmage. Thanks to Ben McKee for joining right before practice. But we'll be right back. 865-255-03 is our telephone number. Don't go anywhere. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
You don't say.
Fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
When you are craving some quality barbecue, there's only one place to go. Dead End Barbecue. Dead End Barbecue has been featured on ESPN's Taste of the Town, the first barbecue restaurant on the SEC Network, CBS Sports, Headline News Tailgate Show, Amazon Prime's The Restaurant Comeback, Food Paradise, and named one of the top 100 barbecue restaurants in America. The search is over. Dead End Barbecue is located on 3621 Sutherland Avenue right here in Knoxville. You can even have it delivered right to your door through Chow Now. Visit their website at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Guys, don't live with tiredness or low energy. Get your life back with low testosterone therapy at Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with Knoxville's leading experts in men's health. Now it's easier than ever with the new Synergen X Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology you won't find anywhere else. Download now or book an appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. Fixmylowt.com.
Just because you can't call in doesn't mean that you have to sit on the sideline. Impact the show with a text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
What's up, Swain Event crew? Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. Fall sports can be a roller coaster ride for us fans. The excitement, drama, and passion will make us crazy sometimes. I can't manage the games, but I can help you manage your real estate needs while you're cheering on the Vols. Reach out at 865-694-5904 or contact me at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, live here in the Low T Center studio. Jason Swain here with you. Beatty Chevrolet text box is open. Also, the Garza Law hotline is open for you as well. Offensive line. Lance Hurd. Sam Pendleton. William Satterwhite. Wendell Moy. David Sanders Jr. Will that be the offensive line? Or do we see Sam Pendleton at center? Do we see a different lineup? I think whatever lineup Tennessee throws out there, offensive line, I think it's going to be good, y'all. Whether it's Jesse Perry at guard, Sham Umarov, I think the offensive line is going to be good. I think we're in a really good spot with the offensive line. Of course, you need everyone to stay healthy, be healthy, but I like our offensive line right now. I do. I think we're in a good spot. 865-255-03. Hope they answered your question a little bit there, Chip. A lot of messages about Boo's mom. It just doesn't. You can't complain about your son being in the news and saying the stuff you're saying, because now they're going to be in the news even more. Like Boo's going to be talked about today more than Chris Brazzell. Chris Brazzell stuff is a one-day deal. We've been covering Tennessee football for a long time. A player arrested for speeding and suspended license, that is a one-day news cycle topic. One day. For us, this was our first day doing a show this week. So it was mentioned. A parent currently ripping the university where her son is making hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's a slap to the fans' face. And they're going to talk about it more than they're talking about Chris Brazzell. Parents, do y'all understand that these fans that are following you, these fans are having to pay more for their tickets? They're doing more so that your son, your daughter can be compensated for their talents. And that's going to help you out as a parent, because you went through these struggles getting them here. And here is the dessert. Here's the treat. Here's the prize of all that hard work, all that sacrifice. Wondering if you're going to be able to pay for your son's cleats. Wondering if you're going to be able to pay for your daughter to travel on this AAU team. This is a time when you're appreciative. You get the prize. Why would you mess it up? This ain't the time to mess it up. This is the time to be quiet. If you got something to say it privately. This is not the time for this. This is the worst time. Message here on the text box. Boo has been in the news since high school. Yeah. I mean, I do about the high school stuff, but we ain't really talk about it that much here on the program. We didn't. Don't give people news to talk about. That's the best advice I would give. Anyways, big opportunity for the second scrimmage this weekend. This might be make or break for Jake Merklinger. We were talking about him being a starter, and we've had people on this program, not that many, on the other program, Joshua Swain, that's like, hey, Jake Merklinger's going to win this. I feel it. Nah, I didn't, because I read the tea leaves. No one has been talking about this quarterback competition like it was a real quarterback competition that I saw. It's been about Aguilar being the starter. Aguilar. That's what you have heard. You've heard that for a reason. Heard that for a reason. But Merklinger is really now fighting for number 2. He might be the third quarterback. Because George ain't playing. He's young. He's going to make young mistakes. He needs to grow and develop more in the weight room. He needs to get bigger, stronger. Yeah, like every quarterback comes in as a true freshman. Like every player that comes in as a true freshman. But if he continues to throw the ball with accuracy, coaches won't have any choice but to play him. Shout out to Drew Gilbert getting his first MLB hit last night. Positivity. He was traded from the Mets to the Giants. Shout out to Drew Gilbert. When you think about Tennessee baseball and like the start of it, it's hard to not think about Drew Gilbert and kind of being the face of it. So many players responsible for Tennessee being in the position that they're in. But like Drew Gilbert had the walk-off grand slam in the postseason. It's hard to forget about that moment. That's all I'm saying. Can't forget about that moment. All right, any more questions? Comments here on the text box. Let's get them in. I'd like to see Hype will be more strong in the future when it comes to these drama player situations. This is from QC Rodney. And it's a pretty good point. I'm the type of person that holds the head coach accountable for anything and all things that happen in the program. Doesn't mean that they should be at fault for a young man doing something stupid. Josh Heupel's not the reason why Chris Bradshaw didn't go to his court date. But at the same time, he's held responsible. Because he's a head coach. It's no different than when I was playing. Coach Fulmer was a head coach. And what they do is to try to give you all the resources possible to help you be successful. At the end of the day, it's the young man or the young lady that has to use those resources. And there are some folks who feel like they're too cool, they're too tough, that they can do it their way instead of the way that's been tried and true. Tried and true. They want to do it their own way. And it's just not smart. It's just not. I like tried and true. Tramel says, what camps do you have to attend to get recognized on the Stars? I think the most important thing you could do is make plays on Fridays. That's the most important thing you can do. And then there are showcase camps that happen during the summer that you can go to, compete against some of the other elite talent, and they help with your stars. But the most important thing you can do is ball out. I don't care if it's On 3, 247, Rivals, and I can't even keep up today. ESPN, whatever. And times have changed since I came out and Rivals was a thing and now. But I can tell you one thing that hasn't changed. You have a great game film, you'll get your stars. James Pierce was a 5-star on 3. No one else had him a 5-star because that film was undeniable. And who was right? Always Vol says G-Mac has been my choice from the get-go, but knew his size and being fresh was against him. You have to like the way he's playing, keeping his head down, playing just like everyone else, not listening to the noise. He will have a bright future. Oh, yeah, he will. And respect to Nico, because, I mean, he did that when he first got here, too. Merklinger did that when he first got here, too. Like, all the freshmen, Taylor Jackson, he did that when he got here, too. I mean, those guys got to work. And we don't know if they're listening to the noise or not. We don't have a player's phone to know if they're looking on social media or anything. But that didn't cause any issues. They just got to work. Just got to work. Do you think we'll get back to seeing more creativity this year on offense like we did in 21-22? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see it like we did in 21-22. I think we're going to see more of it. I think we'll see more of it because I think the protection has a chance to be better. Volstorm, what can you point to say the O-line will be good? The fact that they were gashing the Tennessee defense on Saturday in the running game, which I know Rodney Garner ain't going to be happy about. But seeing our offensive line run the ball the way they did against the defense, that's the point. That's what I'm pointing to. Now, it's possible they can go out there during the season and get stuffed and not be able to run the football. But my reference points today is from Tennessee Scrimmage. Why is it taking everyone so long to know G-Mac is a dog? He tore up the defense at the spring game. Because he's doing it. He's doing a good job now. 931 Vol, please don't try to use the spring game as a reference point for a player being a dog or not. How many walk-ons have we seen tear it up in the spring game and not play it down during the season? Hey, come on, man. We knew he was good. Everyone knew he was good coming in, but you didn't know if he would be ready to play because he's a true freshman. Josh Heupel hasn't played a true freshman at quarterback since he's been here. So we knew it was going to take some time. If you or anyone else expected for him to come in as a true freshman and be the starter day one, I think you set yourself up for disappointment. But because of some of the factors that include Merklinger not being further along as he needs to be to take over the job and Joey Aguilar coming in May, it gives G-Mac, George McIntyre, an opening to be a starting quarterback. But at what point of the season? It's not going to be game one, I don't think. But he's coming. And he's a good one. I root for him. And he is a good one. And he really is. 865-255-03. It's supposed to be a happy show. Guys, we got football that's being played. Did y'all see my Bears the other day? Y'all supposed to be happy for my Bears. We got NFL football starting, high school football starting here soon. We got college football, we are around the corner, folks. We are around the corner. I understand the excitement is not where it was in previous years. I get it. That's part of being a fan. I remember we would kill for 8-9 wins. Now, after going to the playoffs, having a year in 22, it feels like a little step back. But let's let the players decide that. Let's see what they're going to do. Is Merck not picking it up yet? A Merck thing or coaching development? I mean, Louisiana Fall. Let's think about it. Have we had any conversations or any discussions about a quarterback developing issue at that position in Josh Heupel's 4 previous years? Have we ever looked at the quarterback and said, man, these guys are underdeveloped? Joe was better than he was with prior stop. Hendon was too. Nico, we got less of what we thought we were going to get. But he just couldn't hit open guys enough. So if these coaches have proven they can coach and develop quarterbacks, they didn't just forget how to do it. If George McIntyre is looking good enough as a true freshman to be in position to play, and Joey Aguilar, in a short time he's been here since May, looks like he's going to be a starter, and George McIntyre is doing his thing, wouldn't that mean that those guys are getting developed? It wasn't like it was a period entitled quarterback development time, and they told Merklinger, you're not included. You don't get developed. You can't be in this group. And that's why he didn't get developed. No, this is on Merklinger. This is on Merklinger, man. He has had, and I give him credit for being at Tennessee and, part of Nico's class and not running away from competition. I give him credit for that 100%. But he had a fall camp as a freshman. He had 2 springs, and this is the second fall. My man, he needs to be further along than he is now. He can't be letting McIntyre pass him up. He should be number 1. After the first scrimmage, he should be number 1 right now. He should be. Got a head start. He should be number 1. But he's not. And that's on him. I didn't mean to come at you wrong, Louisiana Vol. That was more for other people that maybe had the same question. Louisiana Vol said, got a point, Swain. You right, my bad. Yeah, I ain't trying to come at you sideways or disrespectful. I'm just saying, it ain't coaching. It's on Merklinger. Believe what you see, make a decision. You got to process. Get the ball out. Trust your mechanics. Take your time. Deliver catchable balls. And do it over and over and over again. That's what you got to do. It's that simple. All right, it's Tuesday. We'll be back on Thursday. Do it all again here on the Swain Event. Fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. For my man Ben McKee, Go Vols 247. I'm Jason Swain. Hope everyone has a great day. Peace and love.